Hey everybody, I'm your host, John Myers, live from Stillwater, Oklahoma. We have got a great show tonight. It's John Myers. Hey everybody. Gotta have my notes. It's John Myers from the Kicker UnMasked Studios. Gotta have my notes. Alternator. Hey everybody. We have fun. Hey everybody. Hit like and subscribe. Right here, right now. It's John Myers. We like to give stuff away. Alternator. Post some more pictures. We got to thank Steve and Becky live from Stillwater, Oklahoma. Don't forget Texas Roadhouse right here, right now. Hey everybody. Don't forget right here, right now. We have got a great show tonight. Hey everybody. Had a great dinner tonight. It's John Myers. Right here, right now. Had a great dinner tonight. So, hey everybody. So, housekeeping. Had a great dinner tonight. So, alternator. Housekeeping. Housekeeping. 7:30 on Tuesday night. Housekeeping. From the Kicker UnMasked Studios. Housekeeping. Right here, right now. Hey everybody. So, it's John Myers. Hey everybody. It's John Myers from the Kicker UnMasked Studios. Hey everybody. From the Kicker UnMasked Studios. It's John Myers. Right here, right now. We have got a great show tonight. Hey everybody. We have got a great show tonight. It's John Myers. Hey everybody. Right here. Hello everybody, it is Tuesday night, 7:30 Central Time. You are tuned in to Kicker UnMasked Live right here from Stillwater, Oklahoma. I am your host, John Myers, for the night. I am here 100%, but not 100% functional. Unfortunately, they didn't tell me the Solo X Woofer was in the box when I went to pick it up, and we had to have a little bit of work done. Anyway, we have got a great show tonight. We've got all kinds of cool things to give away. In fact, you're going to want to stay tuned when I list everything we're giving away. Got a great crew. It's a small crew, but we got a good crew. We got Aaron. Yep, you remember Aaron. Aaron is behind the camera tonight. We've got Ernie in the back, and we got JW back there. We are shy one Bill Frog. So apparently he croaked for the night, and now he had a previous commitment, but he will be back again. So best of luck to Bill and what he's doing. So we've got a great show. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to want to stick around for the giveaways, because when I tell you what you're giving away, you're not going to believe it. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. But before we do that, if you guys haven't figured it out, we are now shipping the Gold Series woofers. So, yep, they are shipping. They are real. It wasn't just a rumor. So there is proof that we do ship the woofers we say we're going to. And yes, the other one will be coming soon. Just can't tell you when yet. But these woofers are fantastic. We introduced the separate series of woofers back in 1986. So, of course, the new 50th anniversary. Yes, it is Kicker's 50th anniversary. It's January. January already, right, Aaron? January, my first show of 2023. But you know what? Not only is it my first show of 2023, it is our 100th UnMasked show. So 50th anniversary of Kicker and 100th anniversary or 100th episode. So that's why we've decided to give away a whole bunch of cool stuff. But if you look at these Gold Series woofers, I mean, this was an absolute incredible woofer at the time. But, you know, we had to make it better. You know, we couldn't just duplicate what was there, but we want to duplicate the style. And it definitely looks like the old woofer. But now, rather than having a foam surround, we got a much taller Santoprene surround. Both of them are still double stitched. But the old version had a cork gasket with a paper core underneath. The new one is actually molded plastic with this really cool rubber material on the top that makes it feel like an actual cork gasket, so it is really cool. This guy is dual voice coil, 4-ohm coils, dual voice coil. They're available in 10, 12, and 15 inch. And I know a lot of you guys have got them already in your hands and you've been listening to them. Appreciate you guys for sticking with us and purchasing those woofers, but they are in the warehouse. They are shipping. So if you haven't ordered them yet, make sure you order them. That being said, drawing this out enough, let's take a quick little break and then we're going to come back and we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's show, that 100th anniversary show. So see you in a minute.
It's been a long road since the original Kicker christened that first pickup truck. It kicked off a car audio renaissance, and upgrading your music in a vehicle was a requirement. America's music machines became living loud over your passion, your emotion, your existence. Outdoors or on the open road, your sound is Kicker.
Hey everybody, thanks for hanging out. A little bit of a stage shift here because we got a lot of cool things that are going to happen and we needed a lot more room. We'll tell you more about that in just a minute. But once again, if you guys like what you're seeing tonight, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Tell your buddies about it. If there's something you guys want to see on the show, some guest you want to see or some topic you want us to color, yeah, we're going to get out the coloring books. We're going to color for you. But no, if there's anything you want us to cover as far as, technology or products, hey, let us know. Also, if you guys have questions about, the operation of gear or installation or anything, don't forget support@kicker.com. We've got a great group of guys up there that answer those tech questions, and we're going to read some of those near the end of the show, and we're going to answer those live on air. So if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you do that. But don't forget the Kicker Club. If you guys are not a member, not heard of the Kicker Club, we have got a great little group that Andy McGill started for us that is basically, it's a gathering of car audio enthusiasts. It's not just Kicker guys, but it's pretty much all car guys. I think we got, almost 12,000? Members to that club. It is awesome, but there's a lot of people that are on there, even from the company, some of our engineers, the training force, the tech force, and a lot of us guys will kind of tag along in that show and answer questions. So there's also a lot of good, knowledgeable people out there that lend their advice and their expertise. So make sure you tune in to Andy's show, Living Loud with Andy, and also make sure you join the Kicker Club. So it is a lot of fun. All that being said, we have a lot to give away tonight. So, hey, if you're new to the show, you need to figure out how you're going to get registered to win. So if Ernie will pull up my laptop, you're going to go to kicker.com/UMweekly, and it's going to take you to this page right here. This is where you're going to register to win tonight's prizes. And as I scroll down, you're going to see what prizes you're going to win. The first place prize winner gets the Cush NC, the noise canceling over-the-ear headphones. They get a UnMasked t-shirt, an UnMasked koozie, and I think they said we're giving away a competition group little sticker. Second prize winner is going to get the EB400s, the water-resistant earbuds that go in your ears that are also Bluetooth. The third prize winner is also going to get the Tabor headphones. Actually, I said that backwards, didn't I? It's been so long. Aaron's shaking his head like, yes, you idiot. Third prize is going to get the EB300. Second prize is going to get the Tabor. You're also going to get the gray t-shirt. You're going to get the koozie, and you're going to get the sticker. The other prize. Yep, we have got more cool stuff coming up, and I'm going to actually have to switch to my notes on this one. Let me get my notes, Ernie. You mind if I get my notes? I know you love that part. So along with the normal 3 prizes we give away, this is kind of new, and I just found about this morning myself. So why don't you go ahead and hang on just a second. This is so cool. I'm going to have to put this up on the screen to see what we're going to give away. So, all right, let's see. I forgot where I put it. First place wins. I think that was it. Don't you love the internet when it's slow? All right, so Ernie, if you go ahead and pull up my laptop one more time, I'm going to actually show this to everybody. This is what you guys are going to win tonight. So you have to register for it. We're going to start the registration, actually started it at 7:30. It's going to go till 8 o'clock. So you guys have 23 minutes to register for all these prizes. And what a list of prizes it is. The grand prize winner tonight is going to get a full system. That's a full system donated by us, which includes the CXA 660.5, 5-channel amplifier, 2 sets of KS coax. We're going to give you your choice, what's going to fit in your vehicle. We're going to give you the CK4, that's a 4-gauge complete power kit. You're also going to get 2 sets of RCA cables, and you're going to get a preloaded enclosure. You got your choice of the enclosures that are listed there in the middle of this little document. And don't forget, you're still going to get the first place grand prize. You're still going to get the Cush NCs, you're going to get the koozie, the t-shirt, and the little decal. So you're going to get all that. So that's what our grand prize winner is going to win tonight. And man, what a package. So make sure you guys hang around for that. Second place, we're going to give away a solo 8-inch. In fact, there it is right over there. So this is one of the original solo 8-inch woofers, the L7 that we introduced back in 2000, the first square woofers. We've got one we pulled right out of the museum. So you're going to win that 8-inch Solo Barrett Museum Collection subwoofer. You're also going to win the Tabor headphones, the Kicker t-shirt from UnMasked, and of course the Kicker koozie and the sticker. The third prize winner is going to win a Contender grill, and I'm going to pull this around here. So this is actually off one of the Kicker Contender series. This is one of the grills that we offered that came on that speaker. So this is going to be another prize. This will be part of the third prize winner, but you're still going to get the EB400s, you're going to get the koozie, and you're going to get the t-shirt and the sticker. So make sure you guys register tonight to win those prizes. So, and I know we got a lot of good people signing in. I mean, I've seen Jeff, I've seen Saber up here, we've got Larry, we've got Jeff. We got a lot of great people tuning in, so thank you guys for tuning into this show. We are going to have a lot of fun. And speaking of a lot of fun, we might as well get right down to it. I got a very special guest in the studio tonight. Now, he's not just coming via satellite. We actually have Bryan in the house right here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And let's go ahead and bring Bryan out. Bryan, why don't you come out and join us on the show? And yes, I can still use this hand to shake. So, have a seat, Bryan.
Good to see you, John.
We have got Bryan Schmitt here from Mobile Solutions, and I've said this to Bryan before. I'm going to embarrass him right now. Bryan has single-handedly turned this install world on its ear. You know when you've got someone that's doing an install that's been through Bryan's schooling. It's absolutely incredible, the level of work, the attention to detail, the materials. I mean, I'm jealous because I didn't have this available to me back when I was really doing installs. Obviously, now I can't even do them. I can't even use my right arm for a while. So thank you for doing that, Bryan. I mean, you really picked up an interesting niche in this market because I do know for a fact doing installs back in the day, you didn't know where to find tools. You didn't know where to find the specific router bits, the specific materials. And how did you get doing this? I mean, and when did you start doing it?
It's been quite a few years, and it's kind of a collaboration of finding things out of necessity, or maybe a smarter or a different way, or just kind of collaborating with friends in our community. And joining ideas, and they kind of build upon each other. So it's been a lot of fun, and we just want to keep pushing and finding better ways to do stuff.
It's amazing. I know you got a little selection of tools you brought here, but it really is. If you guys need installation tools, I mean, we're going to talk about the schooling part here in just a second too. But any of the router bits you need, just give them kind of a rundown of all the different materials you offer, and then go into the specifics. Those are really cool. But tell them kind of what all the products you do offer for sale.
Oh, John, there's just so many.
I know. Give us categories.
Categories. Yeah, so, I mean, router bits specifically, we got all kinds of different flush bits, and
I think you got about 1,000 of them.
A lot. You got shaping bits, flush cutting bits, and there's a whole series of bits that make them larger and smaller so you can adjust your shapes. But then you kind of transition into some of these new ones that are really specific to our industry. And I always look at it, hey, let's find a better or a smarter way. And here's just 2 examples. I'll just kind of break this one down right here. We got a lot of fans out there that love this bit right here.
It is so cool. I mean, when you showed this to us the first time, it's like, wow. I mean, it's stuff you guys need and will use, and it'll pay for itself probably in the first install you do. It's really amazing. So tell us what this actually does and what everything is on it, because that's what's really cool is the labeling that you have, so you know exactly what you're dealing with.
Yeah, John. So this is a rabbiting bit. It's our Super Rabbit bit. And it allows people to build everything flush. So the old days of putting 2-side tape to gap for carpet or vinyl.
And that double stick tape was expensive. If you're using the 3M stuff to just waste it.
Kitty hairing up this stuff. I know Arnie likes to use this kitty hair, but this eliminates that. You can build your panels flush, and then you can actually just come back and decide, hey, I want to use vinyl and suede, or vinyl and a paint, and come back and router at 1/64, a 32nd, and so on. And that's the cool offsets. So there it's a 3/8 bearing, but the cutter is actually a custom size. So these are all custom bits that are just kind of part of our collection, like you were saying.
And I also like the way it's labeled. I mean, not only does he give you the size of the bit, the step down, it tells you what materials. So if you're not sure exactly what thickness, you just know what materials you're going to use. He's got them right here in front of you, and this is actually such a really cool, and what a great holder.
Yeah, so the holder, it comes with a metal bracket. You can accessorize it. You can buy them a la carte or even half, and they're great. They last a long time. The best carbide out there. So super cool. Definitely recommend that for a lot of builders
Definitely,
out there.
Time saver. And we've always said, the tools not only make the installation go faster, but it makes it better in the long run. So it's going to be a better look. It's going to be better finish. It's going to be done faster, which means, hey, you get a better product sooner. Or if you're an installer, you get to turn it out in less time and move on to the next job to make even more money. And
That's right. I mean, we all fight the clock, and if you have tools that can help speed up that process, that are clever and buy you time, if you will, hey, I'm all about that.
Yeah, and the tools that you have really, really make that very clear and very important. This is really cool because this is one of those tools that, this technology wasn't even used when I was doing a lot of installs. So if you guys are getting into magnets, which I sure wish I would have thought about this 20 years ago, this is really cool.
John, this is a new product, and we put a lot of thought in kind of preparation and how it's used. First of all, it's got a QR code right here. So if you're unsure on how to use it, you can just put your phone right up to it. It has an animated video that pops up and actually shows you an example on how to use it. But let me
I'm sure I'd need that example.
But let me break it down for you. These bits, they're not normal. They are special. They're actually machined to be undersized for every size of magnet. 1/4, 3/8, 1/2 inch, and 3/4. And it's undersized, so when you drill this into acrylic, perfectly, wood, plastic, whatever it is, the magnet is undersized so it has compression. It's not just glued in. If you use a 3/8 hole on a 3/8 bit, it'll just fall out. You got to put a ton of super glue. This will actually have compression, and the magnet will stay in there. So you drill it with this. But to take it a step further, you can take this alignment puck. These are little pucks, and you notice it has an N on it here. And that's to identify our north and south polarity. So the idea is we have our stack of magnets, we drill our holes, come in and tap in all of our magnets, and then we know they're all in a north polarity orientation.
And that's probably pretty important.
It is, because if you've ever had that one that's just upside down.
Yeah, why is that grill bowing in the middle? The magnet.
You've done it.
And then trying to get it back out.
I've never done that, but I could see how it could happen.
But if you can make mistakes, I promise you I have made them. And anybody that says they've never made a mistake has never tried anything.
Of course I've made the mistake, and you're 100% right. That's why we made these.
Yeah, funny story, you just keep going south. When we introduced the Warhorse amplifier, God, how long was that, 2003, 2004? It was so revolutionary. I mean, it was a 10,000 watt mono amplifier, if you guys don't remember it, but it was a push-pull. It had 2 outputs, but it was only a single channel. So one side pushed, one side pulled, so you had to use dual voice coil subwoofers. So I even did the video to tell you how to wire that up correctly. We did the Warhorse fan, put 4 of those in there. First time I'm listening to that just doesn't sound right. And I thought, oh my God, I forgot to wire it the push-pull, so I had to go back and rewire it. Not a big deal, but yeah, you sometimes get in such a rut you forget. So this is really cool, with especially to help you organize your thoughts and keep them straight, because some of these builds get pretty complicated, and the more you can streamline it and the better you make it, the better off we're all going to be.
Yeah, it's a great product. So we just brought a few things that we wanted to showcase tonight, and these are two really specialized bits that you really can't get anywhere else.
No, absolutely. They actually look, are the fluted curves, are they tapered? I think the larger one here is on the end.
Yeah, so these actually, they do have a shear angle. So the angle is sheared, so it actually cuts like a spiral bit, and it is a brad point, and they are razor sharp. And it is carbide, it's not steel. So it's
Solid
not like
carbide.
it's not like a Fornestra bit. It is a true carbide bit, and they are really sharp. So excellent product. They'll last a very long time. I highly recommend that. And if you have automation or laser or anything, you still need these bits because you might have to clean out a hole. If you get super glue that goes inside the magnet hole after you've cut it out, this cleans it out perfectly for you. Or if you want to retro after the fact, you really can't put the whole panel inside your laser machine. You can just drill it.
And the fact they're flat bottom, for some of these panels, if you got to go back and add the magnets later, which probably be what I'd be doing.
Exactly.
In fact, I'm thinking about doing it right now on some of the things soon. Tell the guys where to go get this. What is your website?
Yeah, it's mobilesolutions-usa.com, and check out our website, and there's just a whole line of stuff, and we have all kinds of tutorials and videos on how to use it. Mark from Car Audio Fabrication, he's a good friend of ours.
Mark's awesome.
He is awesome. And Dean and Fernando from 5 Star.
Those knuckleheads.
Those knuckleheads.
I love those guys too.
They're awesome too. We have a lot of great friends out there that help us kind of demonstrate our products in an easy way to understand them.
Well, like I say, you've got so many cool products. There's no way we could cover them all, but you've even got a couple more over here. Stuff that I've never seen before.
This is safety. This is a new.
Well, then I'm out. Obviously, look at me.
You need this one, John. This is a mini animal, and you can two-side tape stuff on the bottom of it. Keep your hands, your digits out of the way. But you can also see the bolt hole configuration. This will mount to all of the small base cordless routers.
Oh, nice.
Makita, DeWalt, Milwaukee, even some of the Porter cable ones, the bigger ones. So you can actually put a router on this, or you can take it to the router table, and it's for dash kits and speaker adapters. It's small, and you notice it's on an angle.
I was just going to say that would be so much fun. All I can say is I always want to do angles, never knew how to do it.
Well, there you go. So this, you could take your adapter plate, and the speakers, the ring is tilted, but then you come in and shave the bottom, and that's what gives you the angle. So you can machine it on any angle, 5 degree, 6 degree, much safer than the table saw, right?
Yeah, we're trying to do it by hand. Very cool piece.
So yeah, just a couple cool, fun pieces. And this is my gift for you and Aaron, Ernie, and these guys. Here's our mini push sticks. So there you go, John.
I still have all my fingers, and those are awesome. God, those are heavy. What are those made out of?
That's plastic.
It is. That's a dense plastic.
It's a dense plastic for sure.
Probably more dense than I am. So once again, obviously some great tools, but you've got an unbelievable school too. I've been to your facility. It's state of the art. And so if people want to actually come to your facility, tell them basically what you teach.
Yeah, so next year...
Because not only do you sell stuff, you teach them how to use it correctly.
We do. Next year we'll have classes after March, and we'll talk about March. That's a special month for classes. But after March we'll have specialized classes that will focus on specific categories, door panel, console, electrical stuff, tuning, that are just smaller classes. It's more intimate. It's 25, 30 people.
Definitely hands-on.
And you take away home, your takeaway project is pretty serious.
Well, why don't you show them? I think you brought a couple examples over here.
I did. This was our last class that we had. I'm going to just move a few things out of the way here. So
that looks like a door panel off a pedal car.
Yeah, this is actually Tom Miller.
Third scale?
Inspired here. So, we collaborate with a lot of builders. Tom Miller from Music Car Northwest. Jeremy Carlson from Avant-Garde, just a ton of our friends out there that we're collaborating with them on instructing, design, and it's a community of instructors that are helping with this. But there's a lot of design elements. Does it fit a car? Not really, but it's it's an example of what can be done. And that's what we're trying to demonstrate is all the facets and all the different fabrication techniques. They're all tied into it. It is on a smaller scale, but you're able to see this and you do this. This is your actual project, John, that you would take away. So I want to see you out there when your arm gets better.
I'll be there.
You're going to be in class wrapping the vinyl, routering the stuff. Some cool stuff that we've got going on here is it's got actually a cool lighting element. So let me show you.
You know me, I'm all about the lighting.
Yeah, so check this out.
See, that is so cool.
Yeah, so this is actually suede. And, we've got some secret sauce in here. You'll have to come to class to learn that.
It kind of looks like the stitches light up, too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's a special sewing machine.
I figured.
Laugh out loud.
Fiber optic thread.
And, just some different ways to light it, texturing, and really cool ways of wrapping and kind of incorporating all these elements into one panel.
And I know if you guys watch, when we have the feature vehicles of the show, I'm always commenting about the different use of materials and shapes. And this is where I really started getting fascinated by the work that Bryan's been doing. It's just it's not just flat panels. There's so much you can do, and if you have the right tools, it's very simple and very easy. The thing that amazes me is I'm looking at this, just looking at this curve that you have in this simulated armrest.
Yeah, I don't know if we can quite.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it actually has such a smooth and perfect curve. Not knowing about the tools, I would have no idea how you could have done that and made it look so perfect. But you've got a great tool for that too, don't you?
We have a bigger one of these.
Yeah, exactly.
Imagine this animal. That's how that curve was done. So there's some trickery there. And hey, we'd love to show you guys. So come on out to our class. We're in Arizona, Tempe, Arizona, in the college town. And like I said, check us out. We'll be announcing classes next year. So a lot of stuff coming up.
So very cool. And you've got another panel. I like this one because this one will kind of take you guys through some steps, from, beginner, moderate to next step up to, master level. And that's what's really cool about this panel is Bryan's going to be able to show you basically three different phases of the same panel you can go through. Yeah,
so John, this is actually a half cut. It was actually more difficult to build half of it than the actual full piece.
In fact, the smaller door panel is probably harder to wrap than a full-size door panel.
But the idea here is some of you guys have shops or you're maybe selling your craft to customers or whatever. You want an example.
Or you're doing it yourself for yourself.
Or for yourself.
Got a lot of DIY guys out there.
100%. So the idea is it does have 3 levels. And if you kind of define the custom, sometimes we just go for the gold and it's just all out every time. Well, you don't have to do that every time. Or if you're trying to sell a job to somebody, it might not be, it might be too much. So this is
conducive to their budget.
Exactly. So let's just say that this is their top tier. And then you say, okay, that's too much money. Well, hey, let's just peel this back and then this piece comes off. And by the way,
there's your magnets.
Check out those magnets. Those magnets are embedded into 1/8-inch black acrylic. And there's really zero tolerance for mistake because you can see everything. And those are done with those drill bits. So super cool. So this just comes right off. And now you have a cool panel with mesh. It's still clean,
It still looks finished even without that top cover.
Yeah, you've got your 2-tone vinyl.
It's kind of like the frosting on the cake, so to speak.
Exactly. But now we can just peel this off, and those magnets are strong.
Those magnets look like they're pretty strong.
Yeah. So, and there's your base panel. So that would be the front of your sub box right there. Still clean. Still has a little bit of dimension.
Yeah, it's got some contours, and see, that's what I like to see. I'm always said I hate just a flat boring panel.
I agree with you.
When there's so much you can do with that, make it interesting. And a lot of times it's not really expensive, it's not difficult, but by doing something, it makes more value to the product and it's more, visually appealing too.
For sure, John. And we've actually embedded those magnets right underneath the vinyl. So you do lose a little bit of magnetic, strength.
It's still on there pretty darn good.
But it is on there. And then, what's fun is I'm going to actually let you just set this right on here. This is going to click right on. And
it's centered.
It's centered. How satisfying is that? You got to finish it, right? Of course.
Got to throw the other piece in.
So
I got to do this. Still, talked about the grill too. The grills that we have on both the door panel. I mean, how easy is that, guys, versus those little plastic clips that you had to do, or Velcro, or double stick tape?
Yeah, if we could zoom in here, Aaron, on this. This is actually we sell this mesh here. This is a micro diamond mesh, and it's actually steel, so you can really put a lot of force on it. But that is in a press grill, and if you look at it, it's subtle. It has a couple ribs in the center there, this outside edge right here, so it's not flat. But that gives it that rigidity, so it doesn't bend and warp and stuff. But
it gives it that OEM look.
It does give an OEM look.
It's got a very expensive, just gorgeous look to it.
You can paint it any color, just use an SEM paint, and it paints beautifully. So it's really nice. But we do sell the mesh, but that is a press grill, and I highly recommend doing that as well.
Now, real quickly, for those of you guys that don't understand, can you at least give them a rough idea what the process of pressing a grill is?
It's actually very simple. So you have a positive shape and a negative, and then I like to gap it. And kind of the rule of thumb that we go by is however deep you want to go, you need to make the gap the same. So if you want an 1/8 inch draft, if you will, make the gap 1/8 inch. That's a good place to start, and that'll give you that 45-degree nice chamfer.
And then it's not trying to cut through the material.
Yeah.
What do you usually use for the materials for the actual pressing pucks or the dies, I guess they're called?
Really simple. If you're just trying to be on a budget, you can use MDF. It's going to work once or twice, a left and a right. But if you're trying to do multiples, 3, 4, and so on, then I would probably go acrylic. If you're really going to be diesel about it, go like aluminum or even steel.
Now you've actually set up the point where, hey, this is a great place for a laser cutter.
Oh, yeah. So you can do some really cool stuff with it. Yeah, these are just a few examples. This is actually a 3M wrap that you'd see on the exterior of a car. We're using it on the inside as an accent piece. And there's a bunch of technology in how we made this shape right here, how it
which you can learn at the school.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. Hey, we just have fun, and we take just really simple ideas that you're probably already doing and just more clever ways of putting it together. So it's a lot of fun.
And as long as I've been doing it, I still learn stuff every day. I mean, even today, learning stuff with the router bits, and never settle for just, I know everything I need to know, and now I can just go work. There's always room to learn, and especially with the schooling you have, the instructors you guys have, it's just amazing. I've known a lot of those guys for years, and just unbelievable craftsmen. But I love the different use of different materials. You've got textured vinyl, you got almost like a brushed aluminum, and then the steel mesh grill. It's so cool for you guys just to think there's no limit to what you can do. I mean, there really isn't.
Your imagination is the limit.
And the budget.
The budget, but you don't.
But you can add to that later.
Yeah, and what we like to teach is, hey, here's our budget version of how to build it, and here's a more expensive way. So you could do it with the minimal tools, minimal material, but then you can also take it to the next level. I love showing it on a budget. So yes, you're right. You could absolutely do this on a budget. It's just different ways and smarter ways to think about it.
It's all obtainable. I mean, even things that are interesting like this angle here. This is not a 45 angle.
Yeah, I mean, there's other chamfer bits where you can have 30, 60, and 72 degree even. So.
And that's what's cool, and you offer all those for sale.
100%, yeah.
So, and some of the big taper bits, I mean, you can have too much fun with router bits. I know we've got one in back that I had to buy for a project that was a 1.5 inch radius round bit, and that's a little scary firing something with that much metal spinning at 28,000 RPM.
Yeah, I might slow it down maybe. Just.
No. Well, how do you think I got this? But yeah, it's and safety is the key, guys, because these tools. Both Kip and I are both stuck our fingers in routers here at the company, just, accidentally, but, not using those pads. You'd be surprised how quickly the router will grab that piece you're working on and grab it and pull your hand in there. So does anybody out there, you guys got any questions? I'm sure you guys are like thinking, and you got cool stuff. And while we got Bryan here, let's see, we got Sean that says, what makes the Mobile Solutions router lift better than the others on the market? I've been looking to buy one for a while now. Great question, because as far as I know, I didn't think there was anybody but you in the world that did any of this.
Well, no, so it actually is a legitimate question. Our router lifts are actually from Jessam Router Tools. Jessam is a Canadian company, and we have them private labeled. They invented the router lift, and everybody else just copied them. So they're awesome. We use them on all of our stuff. What I like about them is they're replaceable parts. So after they wear, I mean, we've got some that are 10 years old. You can replace a few parts and they're just like new. So there's two versions. One has a phenolic top it's gray and it fits the smaller case routers, the 2 1/4 and smaller routers, and then the Master Lift is anodized aluminum, and it's much bigger and beefier, and it is the best on the market. There's other brands, but I've used them all, and I probably own over 100 routers.
Well, you have the ability to do anything you want, and like I say, if you're going to own the company, why not make it the best you can possibly make it?
So I think Jessam is an excellent brand, so that's who we use. I hope that answered the question correctly.
Cool. Actually, I was just watching the questions there. 25 Hertz to Life, you chimed in, says, is there a cost to your schools? And just answer quickly, yes. No, there are costs, and depending on the classes, once again, just look to the website, email Bryan, and for the specifics. But it'd be well worth your money. I mean, we start talking about some of these installs. I was looking at something the other day, and it was like $2,000 for something. I'm thinking you could pay for that in one install and have that knowledge for the rest of your life.
It's true. I've had a lot of guys sit through the first morning session and go, wow, this is worth the price of admission already.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing it the hard way this whole time, and you just opened my eyes to something different. And we're all guilty of working in our own four walls and not really expanding our mental toolbox, if you will. And so that's what we're trying to do, is just open up a different way of, you've been doing it your way all these years, there's nothing wrong with that, but hey, maybe mix this way and this way together, and now you're at a higher level of execution.
And that's one of the things I like to do with installs, take a little bit and not copy anything. I mean, if somebody's paying for custom work, they get custom work. But take a little bit from this, a little bit, and combine them in a different way. But I really encourage you guys, if you are hands-on, just go look through the website at all the tools, all the materials, because I mean, like this wire mesh, I know that's not the only one you have, because I've got some other mesh that we've got from you before, like the one on the bottom underneath.
Yeah, here's an oval right here.
Yeah, so there's so many different materials out there, so don't get, pigeonholed to just, I have to use this material all the time, because sometimes you'll find out you try a different material, it actually works better, just.
For sure. So back to the classes, on the cost of it, they do, John, you're right, they do range on the length and the time, but just know that, we're feeding you the whole time. It's a huge value. And the experience is second to none. Our classes do sell out within a couple weeks. So every class always sells out, just know that. So
Our buddy Dave Singh up there chiming in, Bryan has an incredible wealth of tools and his classes are worth the investment. So yeah, I agree with you completely, Dave, and that's why we have him on the show and right here in person. So we got actually one of our old employees up there, one of our old international sales managers on the line. Joe, thanks for tuning in, Mr. Joe Aiken. So cool you guys are joining us tonight. We've got a great crowd, but the schooling's good, and it's in a nice warm area. I mean, Arizona, why not? So check into those classes, check into the tools. I mean, I'm scared to open up the website and start looking, because I can just hear my bank account, just draining. I love tools, and
it's an investment, John.
I know, but I buy tools to fix tools, I think, sometimes. But it is a lot of fun. But we're probably going to have to go and start talking about a whole different level of training. As a trainer, being in the training department, we go out in the field and we train the dealers, and we do some of the local events. Spend an hour with the guys and teach them everything we can in an hour. And we have to be pretty selective about because we don't have so much time. Do we teach sales? Do we teach install? Do we teach technical or theory? So you have put together something that is absolutely incredible. And unfortunately, we weren't able to be a part of it, because of the whole COVID thing last year. But Bryan has put together a training, and it's called the Mastertech Expo, and it's held in Phoenix, and it's coming up here in March. And that's going to be kind of our focus for tonight, because if you guys really want to do this right, and stupid small investment. I mean, I've got to be blunt. I mean, you're not charging enough, in my opinion.
Well, it's year one was amazing.
And I've heard it was the best car audio event ever. I'm not from just one person. I mean, guys that have been in this industry for 30 and 40 years say absolutely hands down it was the most informative, the best run, the best event, period, if you are serious about car audio. So, I mean, and that was your first year out. So you set a really high bar, but I think you're definitely going to top it this year, which is why we're here to talk about it and how cool it is and what all goes on at this event.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. But we are excited, and we put a lot of work into it. It is absolutely a year's worth of work for a
single show.
For a team of us. And look, guys, it's really for us to give back. This show is amazing. It is not a normal show. And, you know, part of the reason why there's a cost to it is because there's food the entire time. You know, we just don't want that to be an element where you have to leave campus and go off site. So we're feeding you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But beyond that...
That's worth it right there.
Well...
I'm all about the food.
That's part of it. But we want that experience to be first class. The other component to this is the presenters. The talent and the content is legitimate. We are paying a lot of money for these guys to give up their secrets, their trade secrets, their talent, you know.
And that is key, actually, guys. I mean, he's paying them to be there, where a lot of times where we go, we actually pay to be there, you know, and actually pay for the opportunity to train people, where he's actually paying these individuals to come and give you the schooling stuff that they've learned through, you know, years and decades of hard work and trial and error. So they're not holding back. I mean, they're going to teach you what you need to know.
And you know, we can't show them, but I did share just a little snippet of the level of complexity of what we're going to do. We're literally building an entire project for just this one-day class, a team of us. You know, Jeremy Carlson, Jeremy Katz, Tom Miller, Gary Bell, Lee Teeples, Chris.
Good old Gary.
Chris Pate. I'm just trying to name everybody. Matt Schaefer. All these guys are teaching in this class. And it's a blend of technology and building. It's going to be phenomenal. It will be like the industry has never seen anything like this, and I truly mean that. It's a project that we're dissecting in front of everybody and rebuilding live.
And it really is incredible. In fact, I'm going to slide this computer over to you and get this out of your way, because Brian's got some stuff to show you that Ernie's going to pull this up for him. It really was an amazing event, and of course, you know, got to have safety involved. So with the whole COVID thing, we had to pass on it last year, but we're going in full force. Kicker will be there this year. We'll be having a display. We'll have a vehicle. We'll probably do a seminar, you know, after hours, and just, you know, for fun, and, you know, come up, talk to us, ask questions. We'll have some cool stuff there. But
you guys are going to be there in full fashion. You got a huge booth. You got demo vehicles, you know, training and stuff. We're super excited to have you as a partner. So.
It's going to be fun. And I'm looking forward to going to learn myself, because you can never learn too much. And why not learn from the best in the world?
Yeah. So let's switch over, and I'll
so
give
Ernie,
you guys more detail.
Go.
So this is it's coming up on us. We're 48 days or so. So it's
that's not that far.
It's March 5th through the 8th. So I really encourage you guys, if you've heard about the show, please lock it down, get registered, get your hotel locked in, and
because it's a finite number of seats.
Yeah, we do have there's a hotel block that's on the site right now for a couple $100. The problem with this time of year is we've got Super Bowl, we've got Barrett-Jackson, we've got the Open.
So nothing important's going on.
Spring training. Everybody comes to Arizona because of the weather. So I'm going to skim, but I mean the level of it's a blend of everybody. It's end users, it's enthusiasts, it's retailers, it's car builders, it's upholstery guys. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. And when we say Mastertech, that means a ton of blue sky, as far as who's coming. Lots and lots of anyone who wants to customize, that's who we want to attend. And, there's a lot of new stuff for this year, a lot of new stuff. And I'll just kind of break that down in just a second. I don't want to give away too much here, but I do want to skim just some of the high points.
Oh, absolutely.
And this kind of gives you an idea, like I was saying, on who is attending. We just mentioned this because the networking capability and benefit is awesome. I have got guys that say, hey man, the person I met at your class or at last year's Mastertech we're like best buddies now. We talk all the time. We're sharing our shop info and projects, and I think there's a lot of value in who you meet and the caliber of who you're talking with there.
I can give you firsthand, collaboration with that. Working on some of the TV shows and meeting some of these people. I mean, I've met people that I'll be friends with for the rest of my life, and you learn so much from these people. You guys have the opportunity to work and learn from the best in the world, and that's why I like going and do that. These car shows, these builds, because you got the best people in the world doing it right there, and you're side by side with them and hands on and doing it, and it's life changing. And you find out that no matter how famous or how much you see these people, they're just normal people, and they learn just like we do and make mistakes. But hey, it's so neat to learn, like you say, different techniques for doing stuff, different materials that you never even thought of. It's so much fun, and like I say, I was so kind of bummed we couldn't make it last year, so I'm going to make up for it this year. I'm going to probably try to hit everything, which obviously is a little more possible for me, but I think you want to tell a little bit about the structure, because it's not, pick and choose. Like we go to the Knowledge Fest. Knowledge Fest is great, but kind of pick whatever classes you want to go to. This is completely different than that, and it's not, 150 people in each classroom. I don't think. I haven't been there. How big are your rooms?
They're big classrooms, but the difference is we try to have cameras, live cameras, that really zoom in on all of it. I mean, we've got aluminum trussing. We've got an AV guy in an AV
nice.
And a video guy for every single classroom, all times. So you're seeing live instruction. We're building it live, and that
makes a big difference.
That is a big difference. Let me just show you kind of the overall overview of the event, and then I'll give you some more detail on some of the classes. But it is a 4-day event. We encourage you to get there on Sunday night, because this is a huge concert. We have a massive concert. I'll show you another slide on that in just a second. But
Are you able to tell us who the band is?
I will in just a second. I will in just a second.
All right, I'm jumping the gun.
So you got 4 days. Monday and Tuesday are full days for training. The purple is like that training, and then we got the exhibit floor, which is going to be crazy, and I'll show you that in just a second.
Yeah, you've got a lot of good names, a lot of really key brands that'll be there in force.
100%. And then like the last day is when we'll have more manufacturer training, and then we got our keynote presenter, which I will give you that in just a second. So it's a lot of fun. This is the floor, the show floor. You know what's different, John?
It looks kind of like a SEMA map almost.
It's big.
I mean, yeah, that is huge.
It's actually, all of the buildings, it's one city block. But what's cool about this show, our show, is half of it is inside and half of it is outside. It's all about the cars, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you can't get all the cars in the building.
So we want lots and lots of cars, and we want high-level cars. So that's why there's booths. And the booths are blended with technology. We've got Big Rep, 3D printing company, Korea Farm Scanners is there, all kinds of metal fab stuff, interior stuff, leather companies, Apex Leather, plus all of our audio partners, you guys and others. So it's a lot of blend of technology and tech. Here's all the buildings, and guys, it's something you don't want to miss. Did I mention food? I like to eat.
Look at me.
We all like to eat, but this is an important part of the equation, because you just don't have to worry about food. That is part of the deal. Everybody eats, everybody has food, and it's a great buffet. So that is
well, and I think you mentioned before that everybody, the vendors, everyone are kind of together. So it's not isolated. I mean, you can talk to anyone you want. I mean,
yeah.
How cool is that? I remember doing one of those events where we were actually at a Mira Knowledge Fest in Kansas City. And it was me, it was Jay Small from Rockford, I think we had Grizz Archer from MTX. But anyway, there was a bunch of us sitting there having lunch, and these two kids walk in, and they look, what are you doing? It's like, we're having lunch. But you hate each other. No, it's the same industry, just different companies.
Hey, networking.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're all friends in this industry. I should say not all, but, for the most part. And, to rub elbows with some of these guys that, you see and talk to and see their names online, it's actually really cool, and find out, hey, what can I learn from these guys? What can I take away? So it's up to you guys. You can take as much as you want away from this, or as little, but there's no end to what you can learn.
Absolutely. So here's our night. So this is the concert night. Don't miss this. This is Sunday night. Justin Hopkins was on The Voice. This guy rocks.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
He's badass. He's really cool. but he is going to put on a phenomenal show. We're going to have it's a full concert, a light wall, food, drinks, a lot of fun. And you know what? We've actually got the mayor of Mesa kicking the event off.
No way.
Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But to kind of put...
The mayor's kicking it off.
Put a cherry on the top of the thing.
So if you guys don't think this is important, the mayor feels it's important enough to come kick this show off.
They say it's one of the biggest shows of the Mesa City of the year. So, but to end this thing, guys, a fireworks show. And I know you guys did fireworks at your event.
I like fire and explosions.
You guys did fireworks at your show, or your getaway. We're going to have fireworks at the end of this, and that is going to be amazing. So, we've got some great partners on this that are helping us. It's going to be fantastic.
I hope they've invited the fire department.
Yeah. So just the first night alone in the networking, we're going to kick the front door down and just have fun and have a party with some of the best of the best. And then you get into all these shenanigans. So this is what's cool is when you guys are on the exhibit floor, you're not only going to see all the vendors.
Is that Gary in that picture?
It is Gary, but
I recognize the hat.
You're going to have these build-off teams. So imagine Hell's Kitchen, but on the stage, 2 fab
Hell's
teams.
Audio.
They're building a panel side by side. Each one has to build, within a time constraint. The time constraint is the biggest thing. So that's going on. We've got a security challenge. We've got a light off challenge at nighttime, and also a clean wire challenge from Dean and Fernando. There's going to be 4 teams each day. They have to wire up an amp rack and do all this stuff
It'd be
live.
fun just to come watch that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So the clean wire challenge is going to be incredible. That will be broadcast live.
For all you OCD guys, this is for you.
And if you like LEDs,
Yes.
this is for you.
I was going to say, okay. Didn't know if that was a question for me, but yes.
Yes. Bring your panel to the show. It just needs to plug into 12 volts and light up. We'll have a QR code for you, and we're giving away huge prize money for this. So there's going to be a whole price, cash prize for this. And I imagine, 100 of these panels lit up at night while we're eating tacos or barbecue.
See, that's cool.
And so engagement.
I guess I'm kind of, what kind of panels would you expect people to bring? I mean, obviously not a 4x8, sheet of.
Yeah, how about this? It's got to fit in your suitcase and plug into 12 volts.
Checked or carry on?
Checked.
Okay.
We'll say checked. It can be a decent sized panel, but we want it to be something that actually fit in a car, not too big, so we can set it up on the table. But I know a lot of guys are going for it. Just know
They're
that.
getting serious. I can't wait to see these.
Yeah.
Some of the cool lighting tricks that some of these people have come up with.
It's going to be incredible.
I mean, that door panel you showed. I mean, I learned something today on that. So cool.
It's going to be fun. Hey, I'll skim through this. We'll have an awards ceremony. And then, you know what? Let's get right to it.
Why not get the best of the best?
We got Chip Foose. And, I've got to thank you, John, for helping kind of open the door for this.
I just made a phone call. So you did all the rest. And you've worked with Chip before.
We did. We did his last show of overhauling on Shaq's car, on his Impala. And it was the last one right before COVID in 2019. We'll have this. Some slideshows of this, and then also I told you about a special car. What's he going to bring?
Yep, the Imposter.
Yeah, it is going to be there on display, so that will be incredible, guys. This thing is one the Riddler.
If you guys haven't heard of the Imposter, it's 65 Chevy. That looks exactly like a 65 Chevy, as far as you know, until he puts a real one next to it.
Yeah.
And then you see the level of work that went into this, and it's basically sitting on a 6th generation Corvette. I mean, I actually saw that car being built in his shop, and that backpack was just the body and the chassis next to it. So to finally see that car done, and it's absolutely an incredible car.
So we're super honored to have him there, and he might even be peeking in on some of the classes. I bet he will be. He mentioned he might want to go to some of the CAD classes, so you might be sitting next to Chip Foose on some of these classes.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you never know who's going to be in there, and really, the instructors and everybody else, you're going to see the best of the best, so why not learn, the best ways to do things? And, it's not free, but I mean, I'm serious. I mean, the cost of this is ridiculously cheap compared to what you're going to take away. I don't even know if you want to tell them how much the whole course costs.
The course is $850, $849. If you want to go on the website, please check it out. If you have,
$850. I mean, you guys can make that in half a day on an install. I mean,
yeah, and
it's crazy cheap.
Food for 4 days.
Yeah,
plus,
and food included, plus the people. So
it's going to be great. So yeah, and we are already, the admission and the sign up is surpassed last year by the whole show.
That's
already.
Crazy.
So please sign up. It will sell out 100%. There are some partnering hotels. Look on our website for the best rates, for sure. So please lock this down. The longer you wait, the more expensive it's going to be. And then I wanted to pull up our courses, if we could.
Yep, I think we can. I've got, if you
let me just
click
out of this.
There you go. Now you're back to it.
And
I don't give my computer to just anybody.
Yeah, so let me see if I can pull this up. We want to just kind of break down the classes. We did have some questions even before we started here, and here you go. Here's a couple. So if you want to pull that up, this is your 3 main blocks, and we could even go on the website, but this will kind of give you an idea right here. You've got 3 schools of thought right here. Modern tech, school fab, and master design. What's the difference, right? So modern tech is really about acoustics and tuning and getting great bass and speaker placement and integration into modern, vehicles. It's an awesome class. There's really no fabrication, but we've got some world-class presenters for this. School fab. This is probably our most popular class, and it's more of a traditional way for guys to, it's 80%, let's say, making stuff like routering techniques and stuff like that, and then 20% automation. So if you have a laser machine or a CNC, you're blending the 2 worlds together. And it is a super popular. Last year it was our most popular class for sure.
I can imagine. That'd be the one I'd love to go to.
And then master design is really for those guys, those ninjas that are really kind of pushing the envelope, or if you want to just be exposed to the technology. So it's going to be everything from scanning something with a Creaform scanner to bringing it into Fusion and building this whole thing digitally, and then maybe 3D printing the entire thing. The whole theme this year is center consoles. So I'll give you a little bit of taste of this. We're actually building, it's going to be for a C3 Corvette, 68 Corvette, and we actually have the sheet metal for the entire car, and we're building this live. So we've scanned the metal and we're modeling the entire thing.
Nice.
You guys will see this, and that's really the first time that we've kind of let that part of the course come out. But it's super important that we keep context with it, and so it is going to be on a Corvette that you guys will see live, and that is, I think, pretty amazing to see the process right in front of you, from a scan to finish, or from just traditional ways of laying up glass and building it. You're going to see 2 consoles that are going to look really cool, but they're just built differently.
Always a different way to skin a cat, so to speak. But what's really cool, I really think, as Bryan was mentioning, you basically have 3 courses. These are, chronological order. You start, one and go through the entire day in that course. Basically, the first day is just, a whole, it's a set progress. You're going to learn very specific things, and you're not bouncing around, going to, a little bit here, not, scatterbrained, and, what should I do now? He has taken the time to put it together in the proper order with the right people to give you, as good of an education as you can. So that's really cool to be able to do that, to just start, in the morning, go through the entire day and have a whole, section in your toolbox, basically, of tricks. And
yeah, and I'll just kind of expand on what you just said there, because we want all of these classes to cascade together. So they're not just randomly placed throughout the day. They build upon each other, 101, 202, 303, and so on. So by the end of the day, it's cohesive. The message was consistent. It might have been different presenters showing all kinds of different facets of that, but the message is consistent throughout, and that's the idea. It's like a college course.
Like a goal.
It's a goal. It's a primary course. And then day 2, you get to pick electives. There's lots of electives to choose from, business class to sewing, metal stuff, lighting. You can actually go on the floor and work on CNC with Cam Master, or you can do TIG welding with Levi Green, whatever the case may be. So you get to pick and choose. So day 1 is a primary course, day 2 is an elective.
Cool. And you get 2 electives, right?
Yeah, a morning and an afternoon.
So check that out, guys. And, we can't stress enough how cool it is. And, there's not very many industries that have something like this that, you can choose to participate in to really further your skill. Obviously it's not free, but it might as well be, for what you're going to get out of this and what you're going to learn. So I, for one, am really excited to get out there and to do this and see this. And I really wish we would have made it last year, but things work out the way they do. So let's see if we got any more questions up there. By the way, Jeff Dirk, I think you mentioned, I saw this a little while ago, said something about you would love to work for Kicker. And by gosh, we're always looking for good people here. So hey, feel free to get online, put out an application. We are always looking for good, qualified people. And sometimes you get people like me that are not so good, not qualified, and then, hey, we'll help you out. We'll get you there. So cool stuff like this. So yeah, if you guys are looking for a job, hey, feel free to send us an application. Because nobody wants to work anymore.
No.
Why is it every place you go is help wanted? All right.
Is there any more questions?
Yep. Carlos has one. Is there any word on the new Warhorse amp? The word is it's getting close. So yes, they are coming. We've got some here in house. We're looking probably, I think, Aaron, weren't we talking the 3rd quarter? Yeah. So anytime after June. So that June starts 3rd quarter. So look for those about the 3rd quarter this year. And you're looking at a 3,600 watt amplifier that's about the size of my laptop.
Wow.
So pretty cool piece.
That's incredible.
And, going back to this and you're talking about, the technology and your tools and, with amplifiers, back in the late 80s, early 90s, 1,000 watt amplifier was 24 inches long, and now you can get a 1,000 watt amplifier about 10 inches. And it was like, well, you're just not rating them the same way. It's all about the technology. They're still the same power. It's just they're more efficient. They don't have to bleed off that heat. So that's like I say, as they get more efficient, technology gets better. The amplifiers are getting smaller, but they're not producing less power, and sometimes they're actually producing more power. So great question on that. The Warhorse amp is coming. I'm getting excited for that. I don't know if I've got an application in my Dodge truck, but for a couple 10s. But hey, it might be fun to put one in there just because. So Tyson Coker says, are you able to bead roll the mesh you sell? And I wonder if that's the same Tyson that used to work here that's actually in some of our training videos. Hint, hint, hint. Thanks for watching, Tyson, and thanks for all your training videos. We miss you here, buddy. So
yes,
what do you think?
Absolutely, you can bead roll it. And it helps to have a pattern, or a good design. But yes, you can bead roll. It's actually very easy. It's easier than just steel. So 100%.
And I know depending on the type of mesh you have, it can tell you how much draft you have and the angle. I mean, I'm sure that's going to make a huge difference.
Yeah, you can do some really cool stuff with it for sure.
So the more open, the more cool designs you can make. But yeah, it's just, you got to see the materials that's on the website because it is just really cool. So Blake Brockhouse says, Mark from Car Audio Fabrication is going to be there, right?
Oh, yeah. So
Mark's awesome.
Mark is actually going to MC the build-off. So
really?
Yes, he's going to be narrating and breaking down like, hey, these guys are getting into it. They're doing this. So he's going to be detailing every facet of what the guys are doing.
A better person to do that.
Yeah, so he's going to break it down, and he's going to also be part of the awards. So yes, Mark's going to be there. We're super excited. He's a great friend of mine, and he does an awesome job.
Yes, he does. Any more questions? And the screen goes wild.
Hey, I didn't come all the way out here to just talk. We should give away something. Right?
I'm going to give away some stuff.
I want to give away something too. That's not really fair.
What do you want to give away?
Why don't we give away a seat?
Really?
Let's give away a ticket.
What do you guys think?
I think we should.
That's awesome. You really want to do that? That is so cool for you to do that.
I mean, this is, I think, an event that you don't want to miss because you think about this, and it is going to only happen once.
You're going to change somebody's life.
This combination of classes, people, presenters, topics will only happen once. Will never repeat. So don't think, oh, I'll just get the next year.
Wear, wash, rinse, repeat.
It will be a different deal next year. It will be completely. Chip Foose will not be there. I guarantee that.
What? And who'd you have last year?
Yeah, Dave Kindig. I mean,
talk about great people. And we had Dave and Kevin on this show the week after they did it, and they could not talk enough about how much fun they had and how cool it was.
So I tell you guys, don't have the FOMO and watch this from the internet. Come, experience it yourself, change the way you do stuff, reset your skill set, and come. We're giving away a seat tonight.
Well, that's awesome. I'm not prepared to give, we're going to have to probably, that might be the next show. We might have to wait till the next show to give you guys a chance to register, because I think we've actually already closed the registration for tonight. So we're going to have to give it away. And watch our website, guys, and watch the flyers, because I'm sure poor Bill, he doesn't know about this. It's like, hey, Bill, guess what? So that's awesome. That is so cool.
Hey, John, Aaron's saying something. He's telling me.
He's
saying
mumbling.
2. He keeps going 2.
What?
What does he mean by 2? Oh, we need to give away 2. Let's do 2. 2? Okay, we're doing 2.
So Aaron's good at talking people out of money and things. So,
all right, guys, we're gonna give 2 seats away. Register next show, February 14th, Valentine's Day. It'll be our sweetheart to you. You better sign up for this, and we only want people that really want to come. So put your name in the hat, and let's see you out there.
So what are the dates on this again?
So March 5th through the 8th is the show. And we're going to announce it on the 14th.
Okay, which should be the next show, I think? No, it's a month from now.
Yeah, so here is the website. I'll just scroll.
I'm going to claim pain medications. I don't know what planet I'm on right now or what date it is. So there it is. And that's a Sunday through a Wednesday?
Yep. Here, you got 46 days.
The countdown. I love it.
The countdown. Come on here, and it's this simple, guys. You register. You go through and you pick your color, okay?
I think we lost our feed. Ernie, what'd you do back there?
We're on.
Oh, we're just not on up here. I see. You guys get to see it and we don't.
All right.
All right.
So here's all the breakdown of each one, and then you go into your electives. And we weren't able to talk about some of these electives. There you go. And if you click on this, guys, this gives you a more detailed description of the electives. And just know, for the brand, for like the business class, for example, some of these classes, we're going to have a brand manager from Lamborghini and Larry Pinn from Calgary.
Lamborghini?
Yes. I mean, it's
pulling out all the stuff.
Super high level stuff. I'm going to actually teach a class on this, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about coding Arduino for programming LEDs or motorization, lighting. You can just go through this whole thing, and then when you're ready to purchase, just click here and go to this, put in your information.
Easy enough.
Your shirt size, where you're from at, you just pick. So John here, which one do you want to go to?
I probably want to go to the modern tech.
Okay, so you click that.
I want to go to all of it, but I think that would probably be more suited for me.
And then you have a morning one. Which one do you want to go to?
Let's see. I want to go to your class. I'm going to go to the cooling with the advanced lighting, because I am the lighting guy.
Okay, so you're going to click that, and then you got one more selection.
Another one?
3 choices. So you got sewing, you get radar.
You just said the magic. All these years, I've never been behind a sewing machine.
Let's get you there.
So will they go that entry level for someone that's never done it, that wants to learn?
We're teaching it for more car audio guys on how to sew.
I'm not a seamstress, but there's always been times where I've wanted to sew this get a piece of vinyl or whatever to cover this a certain way, and I always had to find someone and then beg them and try to explain. It'd be so much easier if you could do it yourself.
There you go. So you pick those 3 selections, and then you go down here and pay right here. You click this, that takes you to the next screen. Put in your credit card, whatever, and then you're set. You're locked in. You got your classes locked. You're set for the show.
You just have to get there, right?
It is that easy. You
get there and get your room.
You need to get there, and we'll see you, man. Once you show up, we got you fed, and we're gonna feed you all this information.
Now, since Bryan is being so gracious, I cannot believe he's giving away 2 of these. I think that's awesome. I really appreciate that, Bryan. Since he's giving away 2 of these, guys, if you know you can't make it, please don't enter. I mean, that's not fair to the rest of them, because there is a commitment. They're going to have to get there somehow, either drive or fly, and you're going to have to get a hotel. So if you just you can't afford it, just like I say, please don't enter, and give someone a chance that could really get there and benefit from it. Not trying to be mean or anything, but a lot of people I know people that they sign up for everything no matter what, and they win a certain percentage of things. But please don't do that, because this is so important, and it's so important to our industry. The more knowledge we have, the more, and I'm sure that growing up, you realize that people, car audio, it was like the redheaded stepchild. It's like, hey, I'm going to be a car audio, and so I was like, you're going to what? Why don't you get a real job? And it's not always the most favorite of the consumers around the parking lot and the shopping mall and the neighborhoods with people with loud stereos. So it can have kind of a bad connotation. But let's take this up a notch. Let's get a lot more professional about it and learn. And it's just not all about making it loud and nasty. Let's really work on making it good. And that is something else. I got to thank some of you guys out there, going to some of these events. I've been to some of the SPL events in the past, and 20 years ago, you look at people, like Corey Heimel and his van, it won SQ, won SPL, and the installation was absolutely incredible. And then over the years, it kind of really went down, but I'm starting to see people get back into it. We went to an SPL event a while ago, and one of the guys had never been to one. And he said, "This is like the Mad Max of SPL, just the pieces and parted together." But I have seen you guys are starting to really, spend some real effort and time on it. And that being said, there's some really cool stuff out there. And if you get a chance to go to any of the Base Wars events, please go see these events. You're going to see some absolutely incredible stuff. You're going to meet some cool people. And by all means, come out and see us. We will be in Vegas, I think February 3rd through the 5th for Knowledge Fest. So if you're a dealer, if you're registered for that, we'll be out there in force doing that in Vegas. And right after that, we're going to be coming up on the good old Mastertech Expo. So,
yeah, it's going to be fun. And hey, I think people are getting better at their craft, and I think that the industry is kind of changing. It's more high level now, and artists and your craft. We want to elevate that game, and that's what this is all about.
Well, I will tell you, one of the big SPL guys out there, Drew Jones. I gotta take my hat off to you. I had probably 2 minutes to sit in his vehicle and listen to him. This is, an SPL vehicle. It had some of the best staging and imaging, I've heard. So, these vehicles are not just loud. These guys are, getting really serious about these vehicles. And I've just said in the thing, I could have spent the day listening to, good audio. And that's the thing you realize, if something sounds good, you spend a lot more time listening to it.
You just
it's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And if you get your favorite song on really crappy radio, you're like, that I don't care. But I've actually been having a lot of fun lately, just going through and finding just different artists, just different music, just listening to the recording quality. And we don't want to get into the whole, source material and all that. But there's some really good stuff out there that you guys have never heard of. So don't be afraid to get them. And some of this stuff's got some really good bass to it. But there's some artists out there that are doing some awesome stuff.
For sure. Have a system in your own car.
Yeah, start there.
Start there. That's what I do.
And that's, I didn't start, with a huge system. You can add, and just like, this panel we talked about, you start with the basic building block, get a good, good amplifier, good front stage, and, maybe a subwoofer, and just keep adding, but, add, carefully, research, don't just start throwing, dollars and gear at it. Have a logical progression. And here again, that's the cool thing about, the Mastertechs. It is a logical progression. You start in the morning, you go all the way through, and everything ties together for a common goal. So there's just nothing like that anywhere. So anybody else got any questions out there?
No, we're good?
Yeah, Ernie's back there. No, we're good. It's like, no, I don't care if you're good or not. I wanted to know if there were any questions. So
We got no questions.
we got no questions. So, guys, don't forget, Living Loud with Andy, and don't forget to sign up for the Kicker Club. I know you guys have registered, hopefully, to win all this cool stuff. Here's the street box up here we're giving away. We literally went through our museum stash and pulled this stuff out. So this isn't, flea market stuff we found. This stuff is brand new. It was almost a crime to pull some of this out of the plastic in the boxes, but that's the best way to show it. So we got a bunch of stuff to give away. And guys, like I say, if you like what you saw, hit like and subscribe, tell your buddies, and anything else you want to see, let us know, and hopefully we'll look forward to seeing you guys, at one of the events, whether it's a Knowledge Fest or, of course, the Mastertech Expo, or I think we're going to be at Slamology. We're going to be doing a bunch of the events. So, as always, if you go to the Kicker Facebook page and click on, the other section and go down to events, it's going to tell you where all the Base Wars events are going to be. So, here again, they're just, absolutely crazy what some of these guys are doing. And some of the numbers. We were in Prim right after SEMA went out there. And the guy, he was pulling out, I forgot his name, I think Carlos. Pulled out 185.3.
Whoa.
Here's what's weird to me. Now, here we're going to go off on a weird subject. I don't understand SPL, and that's why it's new to me and it's fun and it's a challenge. Looking at his enclosure, and these guys are usually really good about letting you see in the vehicles. I mean, it's right there working on. I think he had 8 15s and doing 185.3 dB. That's unheard of.
That's incredible.
But what I don't understand, and maybe, I need to talk to Carlos, or, maybe I need to go to your classes and learn. That's the other acoustic reason I want to do this. There was no enclosure for these speakers. And when I say no enclosure, I'm not talking infinite baffle. I'm talking the speaker was almost weld in solid on the back side.
Wow.
So how do you get that much SPL out of speakers that don't have any airspace? Because we always talk about having proper airspace. The speaker's got to have X amount of airspace, for it to sound good. Any speaker will work in any enclosure. It just depends on how well. But this literally was, one of the top 2 loudest vehicles in the world. And when you looked in where the woofer's mounted, there was actually a circled recess for the magnet, and there was actually blocks of MDF that actually stepped into the cone or into the basket area. How does that work? I mean,
I've never seen
I'm
that.
not putting you on the spot. I think that is so crazy.
That is.
So that just goes to show you can be doing car audio, for 40 years, and you're still going to learn stuff.
That's insane.
I can pull up the picture on my laptop, but I won't. But I'll show you later. I don't understand how you can have a speaker that is got that little airspace and still pull those kinds of numbers. And of course, 80,000 watts of power doesn't hurt. Did you think when you started doing car audio that we'd have 80, 100,000 watt vehicles?
That's insane.
It is. And what's really crazy is, even building some of the bigger amplifiers, as a manufacturer, we look at this building and we have to figure out, all right, we need to, have the power in the building to test them. It's like, well, hey, just have a battery bank. Well, the way the SPL vehicles work, obviously, they just burp it for a short amount of time. But when we build an amplifier and test it, we run it for 24 hours, full power.
That's a lot of power.
And, that's what we got to look at in some of these amplifiers. If we're going to go bigger in amplifiers, we're actually talking about having to rewire this building to make sure we do it right. So there's no expense spared. Everything will be, done right here. And when we produce a product, it's going to perform. So when we tell you that Warhorse 3600, when it comes out in June, is 3,600 watts, it actually is quite a bit more. And I won't tell you exactly the numbers. So once it starts shipping, we will do a dyno on that. We will have it up here. We showed you the amplifier a couple weeks ago. So if you guys haven't seen it, look back on a couple of the shows and you'll actually see it. And last week, of course, we went over the Street Series. That's another, interesting market that, for the SPL guys, the Street Series speakers. And of course, the KS speakers. The vehicle I was telling you I just built for one of our reps using all KS speakers, probably one of the best sounding vehicles I've ever built personally. And it's because the knowledge that I've learned from going to classes and working with these people, and that it's not just about the speakers, it's about the preparation. And I'm sure that's I want to learn more of that. So I'm going to your classes and I'm going to have some fun.
Well, I'm excited, and I got to say, your guys' facility here, world class.
You haven't even seen it all yet.
I haven't seen it all, but what I have seen, and I got to meet Steve earlier, first class. Hats off to you guys. And I mean, if you guys have never been here, please come down and check out.
Yeah, that's going to be my next thing. 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. Come check it out. Come visit us.
It is world class. This is one of the best car audio, manufacturer facilities on the planet. So I'm really impressed, and I say that wholeheartedly.
And we didn't pay him to say that.
So thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Your facility's no slouch either. Well, especially with all the work you do to keep it that clean, I can't imagine how many people come in at night and clean up after.
We do like it clean, and it's tough. But hats off to you guys. Thank you.
Cool. Well, one last request. See if we got any questions up here from anyone. Anything back there, Ernie? Ernie says he's good again. So Guys, we're going to take a break here for about a minute or so, and then we're going to come back and we're going to give away some. So you want to give away some stuff? You want to give away some more stuff? I mean, besides what you've given away, you can help us give away some of our stuff.
Let's do it.
So, guys, we'll be back in just a minute. So come check us out here, and we will see who's going to be a winner. So about 60 seconds, I guess. See ya.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
All right, we are coming back live, and I think we're going to go through some questions that we have. And unfortunately, during the break, I got all excited with Bryan up here that I disconnected my computer, and Ernie's having a little bit of troubles getting. He's got it. He says he's got me back on track because we can't do a show without the fails and the installs and all that good stuff. So, but questions. From readers and viewers like you, and we'll see if we can put Bryan on the spot. No, we're not going to do that. So, actually, why don't you read us the first question?
I don't have my glasses here.
That's why I gave it to you. I made the type big for me, and I still can't see it.
With the Tweet app, what is the right side of the screen for under the Advanced tab?
Okay, all right.
What is this?
Apparently this is a question about our IQ series amplifiers. With the Tweak app, what is the right side of the screen under the Advanced tab? And I haven't looked at that for a while, but I do believe that's where we're talking about the compression, the compressor settings. So why don't we do that real quick just for fun? Ernie can pull up my laptop, and I actually still have that software on my laptop because I still have all those amplifiers. I just got to find the icon in this mess of stuff I have on my computer. Oh, there it is. All right. So, Ernie, why don't you go ahead and pull up the computer here as this Tweak app pulls up, and let's just go over what this is, because I know exactly what you're talking about now. All right. So, we're not going to scan because it's looking for amplifiers. We're going to skip through this. And really what he's asking is, here's the Advanced tab, and the right side of the screen that's got this little, bar metrics. This is actually a compressor limiter circuit that's adjustable. And I will tell you, and you can probably agree with me, if you guys don't know how to set this up, you can really mess up your system. I mean, not electrically, but acoustically. So what we have on this is you've got 4 different adjustments down here. You've got an attack, you've got a release, you've got a ratio, and a threshold. And the attack and release are in milliseconds. That's the trigger. So if you have the attack, it's as you get something that goes over a certain we're going to call it threshold because that's what the threshold does. It takes it 1 millisecond to kick in, and then after it goes below that level, you've got how many milliseconds before it releases. So that's your attack and release. The threshold literally is where that turns on. So what you can do is say we set this threshold here at minus 20 dB. Here's the actual compression. So what I've done now is from 0 to minus 20 dB, it's going to have a linear rise in output. So one click, on the radio is like one click out more on the amplifier. And if we look at the ratio down here, I pull this down as far as it can go. Let's just call it says 9.9 to 1. Let's call it 10 to 1 to make it easy. So once we get to wherever this triggers on your head unit, say it triggers at volume number 30 and you can go up to 40. So from 30 to 40, every 10 clicks on the radio only gives you one click more output.
Oh, that's pretty clever.
So it's a speaker protector. So it will help you from basically launching speakers from too much power or distortion. So it's going to limit that.
That's pretty smart, John. It's actually an attenuation at that volume.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
That's really cool.
But it's like a program level. It's almost like some of the car radios, you turn them up and they only go up to a certain volume. That's exactly what this is. They've got a threshold where they kick in, and then they just don't get any louder, but we give you the ability to control how much. So yeah, that was a great question. We don't get many questions on the tweak app.
A lot of vehicles, they clip right at that top level, or they'll attenuate as well and start to drop off. So yeah, from the factory.
And the big thing is, I'm the king of overpower stuff, but if you overpower it and your speakers just don't handle the power, this can help obviously not damage your speakers from over excursion, because you can basically set this to get the maximum out of that individual speaker, and then it'll stop getting louder to whatever ratio you put it versus the rest of the speakers in the vehicle. So great question. So question number 2, is it better to run a set of components actively from the amplifier and eliminate the passive crossovers, or could you do both, and is there an advantage to doing both? What do you think?
I don't know.
And it can go either way. I mean, that's another question that there is no exact answer.
Yeah.
The thing with passive crossovers are great because it's easy. You basically have a 2-channel amplifier. You can put a pair of components left and right, and you've got the crossover to protect the tweeter and give it the right frequencies. If you actively take the components out, now you have to have a 4-channel amplifier. So if you had a 2-channel amplifier, if you actively cross the components over, now you need a 4-channel amplifier. So now you would run one set of outputs to the tweeters, one set of outputs to the mid-ranges. Now, in our crossovers, our passive crossovers, we actually have protection built in for the tweeter, either like an illuminated protection circuit, which are the light bulbs that flash when you turn it up too loud.
It's a variable resistor, but yeah.
Yep, and that's exactly what it is. And we also have a poly switch protector. So we've got different types of protection. If you take that passive crossover out, guess what? You don't have that anymore.
No.
So probably not for the novice. And here, that's one disadvantage to, taking out the passive crossovers. The advantage for taking out the passive crossovers and doing everything active is now we looked at, our tweak application, which is DSP. Now you can do time alignment separately between the tweeter and the mid. If it's a coax, which there are high-end coaxes, we actually, our 3-way 6x9s have outboard passive crossovers.
And they're bi-wired.
Yeah.
So you could do that, but you could also, a lot of times you can do an active with the passive assist.
Yes.
So you can high pass it and use the crossover.
And I like to call those hybrids.
A hybrid.
Yeah, and most people have hybrid systems in their cars because you've got an active crossover between your woofers and your mid-range and a passive crossover between the tweeters. So if you want to actively be able to control the time alignment and the output level of independent speakers, separate channels, if you have a crossover that's got 2 inputs, like a mid input and a tweeter input, that's great. But if you don't, you're going to have to make sure you use the crossovers in the amplifiers and make sure you set it up correctly. And there's one time that I probably would tell you that, using the active crossover in the amplifier may not be the best thing to do. So like I said, there really is no right answer. I've gotten a few discussions with this with other people in the building, and this really comes into play if you have a 4-channel amplifier. So let's use our ZX 400.4 amplifier, which basically is 50 watts per channel at 4 ohms into 4 channels. So if I actively cross over every speaker, I get 50 watts to the tweeters, I get 50 watts to the mids. That's a pretty decent amount of power. But that same amplifier, if I bridge it to 2 channels, It now produces 200 watts per channel by 2 at 4 ohms.
That's a lot more.
It's 4 times the power to the same exact speakers, and it uses the passive crossovers. And people are like, well, does that mean that the mid-range gets 200 watts and the tweeter gets the full 200? So is it 400 watts per channel? It's really not, because what that passive crossover does, it actually breaks up, the 200 watts between the two audio bands of the speakers. So you're not literally getting, 400 watts per channel, but each speaker is still getting, in its operating range, 200 watts of power.
50 watts more each speaker.
So, if you're looking for a lot of output, and with some of, like our marine speakers or cans, I highly recommend, our 4-channel amplifiers, bridge to 2-channel and run them at 4 ohms for, literally 4 times the power as if you would bi-amp them. So it can go either way. Hope that answered your question. If once again, if that prompts even more questions, send them in to us, support@kicker.com. Okay, here we go. Last one. I saw a video of a guy on TikTok doing woofer comparisons. I think we're getting set up for something here.
TikTok,
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, that's a great time killer for me. So when I have time to kill. So I saw a video of a guy on TikTok doing woofer comparisons by playing 2 woofers side by side on a bench and judging which one is better by how much it's moving. How accurate is that? I think you can probably answer that, can't you?
I think it has no validity at all.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
You're not judging by sound quality, by power handling, just because one speaker moves farther. And there's a lot of factors in that.
It could be a different frequency. Are they playing test tones?
Yeah, well, you've got different resonance frequencies of the woofers.
Power?
Yeah.
I mean, wattage, frequency, all that is a factor in how much the speaker moves. So
it could be very loaded, but even if you know that you're getting the same signal to each speaker in the same power, speakers have a resonant frequency, which frequency they move the easiest. So if you got 2 speakers that got a widely different, resonant frequency, they're gonna move differently.
It's like a tuning fork here and a tuning fork here.
Yep.
They could be totally different. So
exactly. So it's not really comparing anything. It might be fun to watch, but not very good in suspension. I mean, obviously the suspension of the speaker. There's some speakers out there you can stand on and hardly get them to move. Other speakers, you breathe on them and they get about tear the cone out of the basket. So not a very good accurate comparison, but still probably kind of fun to watch. I'd be curious to see if they've done any of our speakers on there, and if you guys find some, that send it to us. So what do you think? You want to do installs or you want to do fails next?
I like the fails.
So do I. Isn't that morbid? We like to see, failed installs.
So you're going to pull this up on your laptop? We're going to see this?
Yep, we're actually going to do this. So I actually have, I thought I did. So hang on there, Ernie. So here we are. Nope, that's not it. I think dang it, I think I actually deleted that doing something else.
Okay, how about installs?
Yeah, let's do installs. Well, we got another segment. We're going to replace fails with something else. So let's do this because I thought about doing this. I found it. So here we are. I got 2 fails for you. So Ernie, go ahead and pull up the laptop. Like I say, guys, this show is live. Anything can happen.
Whoa.
What do you think, Brian? Is that a top quality install?
So is that like Ace Hardware fuses?
Yeah,
I mean, is that like bolts or us? Like, that is dangerous.
Yeah, they actually almost look like engine bolts.
That is like,
yeah.
That's a fire driving around waiting to happen.
So would you call this a fail?
That is a huge fail.
Yep,
that is an epic fail. That could burn your car to the ground.
You've seen people. We actually have one picture we did on one of the shows. I don't think I can find it. They actually had 22 caliber bullets.
Oh my God.
The whole casing, not just the projectile, but the whole casing and the projectile.
That's one way to go.
Yeah, if it gets hot enough, it's going to fuse protect it.
like literally one way to go.
Yep, it's going to break the circuit, so too dang funny. So here's one of those funny memes. When your installer graduated from YouTube University. So, yep, packing tape. Is that a good installation? Do you sell packing tape for installs?
No, that's for boxes, isn't it? I
mean, sometimes not even that. I mean, even FedEx doesn't use, and Amazon, they don't use clear packing tape.
It's probably not good if you got into a collision or something. I think
yeah,
that
probably not.
Go flying. Yeah.
Let's go to this is, like I said, a section that I wanted to add just for fun. Let's do some fun car audio memes. So some of you guys are pretty creative out there. So, Ernie, let's go to the computer. I like this one. There's your premium stereo upgrade, and then, of course, your old stock stereo is looking at you like, really? You're going to replace me with that?
Yeah, I'm all about the premium
Yeah,
upgrade.
yeah. Always go for the upgrade.
Yeah.
So this one I'm going to have to increase, and I love this one because it is the truth. My neighbors do listen to good music. They don't have a choice. So you like it loud. So
Little sizzle and boom there.
yep, it goes a long way. This is another fun one. The key to happiness is to make music louder than the chaos. And that is actually true on many levels. I mean, if you're frustrated and you can't focus, listen to some good music.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you like, just listen to something you like. It it will clear your head. I mean, unless of
Or
course
if
it's
someone's just talking and talking, you just turn it up a little louder.
yep, and cover it up.
It goes away.
And of course, we have always talked about clipping. That's the look of your voice coils when you start clipping the blank out of them.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
Letting the magic smoke rings out.
Yeah, that's a nice donut.
I just thought this would be fun to do. I love this one. The look you give your non-car audio friend after he tells you to buy a capacitor. So I remember, seeing a guy that was looking. Literally, I was at a shop and I heard the salesman tell a customer this, which is kind of funny, and I won't tell you where it was. Guy's like comes in and says, "Hey, my lights are dimming. When the bass hits, my lights dim." Well, you and I both know that you just need a better electrical system, right? Better battery, better alternator, maybe better wire. And of course, don't forget fuses. But so the salesman literally looked at the guy and says, "Yeah, we can sell you a capacitor, but it's not going to help your audio, but we can put it on your headlights so at least they don't flash." Hey, find a use for it, but just kind of funny, the whole capacitor thing. A
little extra juice.
Yep, I've always been a battery guy, alternator guy, and good power wire. So here you are, and this is so me. That's why I put this one up. Every time you pull up to a light, that moment you turn down the radio so you can see better.
I actually do this when I back up.
Well, I do it.
I'm like, hold on, let me turn this down so I can drive better.
Exactly, but it's so true, but so funny.
It is.
And since it is the first of the year, tax returns are coming. So yeah, tax return, no, it's the car audio fund, the car audio check.
Time to upgrade.
Yep, so get ready for that, guys. So too fun. So let's go to some cool installs. Round it off with that. I've got two different groups of installs tonight. This is a lot more pictures than I normally do. I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do. So this is actually an old school. Since we're talking 50th anniversary of Kicker, talk about some of the early components. This is both a fail and kind of a part of a cool install. It's a fail on our part. This is one of the earlier Kicker passive crossovers with illuminated protection and an encapsulated resin core. So too much clipping on that, they tended to split apart. But yeah, so just kind of an old school, go back and look in the old days. We didn't know any better at the time. We didn't think there were guys that were, that big of knuckleheads out there, but you proved us wrong again. So here's a picture of a 5 1/4 installed, and that's one of our really old RS 5 1/4s, but nice install.
Yeah.
Nice adapter. I
Yep.
mean, that almost looks like a custom built adapter. And here's what's cool about this one. These speakers were actually our FX69s. And why I remember that, I don't know, because even before I started working here, but I just remember everybody kept asking for the speakers with that D20 tweeter. I mean, in the 90s, that was the hot tweeter to have. And I did have a set of the FX65s, which is the 6.5 inch version. I had those in my last house. I actually put them in the ceiling and some ceiling brackets that a guy was throwing away because he blew the speakers. So I actually put our speakers in them and used them for many years, and they sounded great.
Nice.
So cool install. And of course, there's your passive crossovers again, the old acrylic, and nice mount of the ND25 tweeter. If it was you, and I know what I would do, what would you do to make that look a little bit better without a whole lot of work?
Well, you could color match it.
Exactly. And just, dyeing that tweeter, because, it really kind of stands out on the door panel. So that's, one of the good things about doing a good install.
You can take the grill and take the tweeter out, paint it to match. You can paint the whole door to make it match perfectly.
Exactly.
And then put it all back together.
So do you sell vinyl dye?
We don't, but I mean, you can get it from any auto body supply, and that's, that would work perfect.
And of course, the old PPI Art Series amplifiers
Man.
and the old comp woofer with the old red, white, and black K.
Boy, those amps are. How old do you think those are? That's got to be early 90s?
Well, yeah, I sold those in 92, 93 when I was working for Nebraska Furniture Mart.
I remember.
Yeah, we had car audio at a furniture store, and it was actually really big car audio section.
Look at those big EQs.
Yeah.
You know, we always had to do those long RCAs to put that in the front seat.
Yeah, so you could tune it.
So because how are you going to tune it in the back?
It's all for show at that point.
Turn up 2K, John. Just a little bit. Oh,
What?
That's too hot.
Yeah, so it's all about the tune. Now we can do all that electronically with DSP.
Oh, thank goodness.
So let's go to some consumer installs. And we got a bunch of pictures. Since it is release of the Gold Series, this was actually, I think it was actually on the Kicker group first, but what a cool looking enclosure.
That's pretty sick. I like it.
And that woofer just looks gorgeous in there.
Yeah,
I mean,
some
great use of colors. I mean,
Back painted acrylic, it looks like.
I'm not even sure. I probably should look at it a little bit better, but great work. And like I love different use of different materials and different blends. So how cool is that? Talking about the Clean Wire Club.
Nice.
I mean, what a nice install, nice wiring, and that's obviously in a boat. So, using the proper power wire and ground.
Who doesn't like clean wire?
Yeah,
I mean, everybody can respect a nice wire job for sure.
We have shown you plenty of rat's nests on this show. I mean,
That looks nice.
another great install. Probably someone that's been through your schooling. It's not overly complicated. It's one color, one material, but the work underneath. We were talking earlier. I don't like just a flat panel, and if you notice, probably just with a router, just did a little groove in here, and then did a 45 degree around the woofer. And of course, these nice little windows. Just a nice job, nice and clean.
It looks good. It looks like it's executed really well.
I'm going to guess that's in a Toyota Tundra. What do you think? Since it says Tundra right on it.
Probably that.
All right, here's another very cool, interesting one. If you don't like the speaker grills that are out there, make your own. So I'm really not sure how they made those, but very unique. Almost looks like acrylic rod, across the rings, and that might actually be red acrylic that's LED lit. So I wish I could see more of this, and I looked, and there really weren't any pictures of it lit up. But great install. Here's another throwback, and this is actually kind of funny, and it's all about being creative and doing different things. Brian, what do you see on the back of all those magnets? Those are CDs. So they actually, magnets are kind of ugly, and I can say that because those are actually our speakers. Those speakers are actually from the early mid-2000s, like 2005. Those are our SSMB8s.
Yeah, I couldn't tell it was a CD. It looked like the magnet.
But I did see the front of it. I forgot to put that picture in here. But it was actually our SSMBs, which those were a mid-bass. They were never designed to be a subwoofer. But the cool thing is, like I say, the back of it, to make it more interesting, just you attach CDs.
Yeah, so that's infinite baffle, huh? Just chilling?
Yep, it really is. So
interesting.
Yeah, and those speakers were actually designed for infinite baffle. They were a mid-bass driver designed to go in a door. So doors are almost always infinite baffle.
Well, you got room for golf clubs.
Yep, so pretty cool there. Let's see. Let's go back. I thought I had one more. Nope, I think that's going to be it. So cool. That's going to pretty much end the night of the stuff. I think it's almost time to get some stuff away.
Hey, that was fun.
So what do you think, Ernie? Should we get some stuff away? Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you guys are probably chomping at the bit. I cannot believe what all we're giving away. So why don't we go ahead and put the third place winner up there, and I'm going to have to refer to my list of what they're actually going to win. So third place winner is, can you see that, Brian, or am I picking on you again?
I can't see.
That's Amanda J. from Indiana. So Amanda J., you're going to win this Kicker Contender Series grill.
Nice.
So right out of our museum stash. I mean, it does look like it's been around a while. Of course it has. It's been around, since probably 1982 is when those were introduced. So yeah, that's a very old, very cool piece.
Classic.
You're also going to get the EB400. That's the weather-resistant Bluetooth earbuds. You're going to get the gray Kicker Unmasked t-shirt, the Kicker koozie, and I think I've been told you're going to get one of these competition group badges. And these were actually badges to go to the competitions where you put your name under there, and it's got the little spot for the lanyard. So we use these back in the early 90s, and
Yeah, I remember those.
for the competition group. And I'm not going to elaborate, but the one I used to wear, the name they gave me was Richard Cranium. So do the math and figure out what.
It's an interesting name.
Yep, all for fun. So Richard Cranium, and yes, people have called up to the company and asked for Richard before, and yep. The waitress or the receptionist knew exactly who they were talking about. So congratulations, Amanda from Indiana. You get a lot of cool prizes. Second place winner is going to be, drum roll, Aaron. No, don't do that, Aaron. So Anson A. from Florida. So he's actually staying up a little later than we are, since it's 10 o'clock there. So thanks for hanging around, Anson A. You're going to win the Tabor Bluetooth over-the-ear headphones.
Nice.
You're also going to get the 8-inch Solo Barrack. And we took it down. I can't believe we took it down. But you're going to win the 8-inch Museum Sub. That's the original Solo Barracks we introduced in the year 2000. So you're going to get the 8-inch, which literally we pulled out of the plastic and out of the box. So, oh, there it is over there. See, we moved stuff around. So there is one of your prizes. You're also going to get, like I say, the headphones, the Great Kicker t-shirt, and the koozie. So congratulations, Anson A. from Florida. And that's going to bring our grand prize winner of the night, which, whole system. They're going to win an entire system plus headphones and a t-shirt. So, Ernie, go ahead and pull up the grand prize winner for this evening. Hopefully you're watching. I don't see any rigged comments up there yet. They always think we got everything rigged. So tonight's final word. Is it Ellie or Eli? T from California. So congratulations, Ellie or Eli. All three of you guys, watch for an email from Bill Frog. He's going to email you. He's going to ask for your name, address, phone number. Shirt size is going to be important. So you'll get an email from him, and he'll get all the information so he can ship you the prizes. But what are you going to win? So, like I said, I can't tell if it's Eli. I'm famous for just destroying people's names. So you're going to win the brand new CXA 660.5, which is a 660 watt 5-channel amplifier that's got 4 channels of full range, and you're going to pair that up with 2 sets of KS coax, not our entry level, but the best coax we offer. You're going to get the CK4 power kit and 2 sets of RCA cables, so you're going to get all the cables you need to hook it up, and a preloaded enclosure. I mean, there's L7T on here, CWRT, downfiring, so you've got a lot of different enclosures. So depending on what vehicle you have, one of these is going to work great. So fantastic. So that was a lot of stuff to give away. 100th show.
That's pretty amazing.
So it's pretty awesome to have you on the show tonight. And of course, Kicker's 50th anniversary. You can tell by the logo. So I hope you guys had some fun. I did. In fact, I'm ready to get something to drink after this. In fact, dinner. What'd you have for dinner tonight?
Oh, it was delicious.
Who was it? You guys probably already know what it is, but who did we have for dinner?
It was Texas Roadhouse.
Ta-da! I mean, you probably guessed it. We almost always have that. So.
Roadkill.
That's what you got. He was asking for roadkill. Of course, here in Oklahoma, that could be something totally different. So
it was delicious, or whatever it was.
Yep, they do a good job. So thanks to Texas Roadhouse for not giving us a discount, but for making good food.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Once again, if you like what you see, hit like and subscribe. Tune in not next Tuesday, the next show. Aaron, what are we doing the next show? Do you even remember? I don't even remember. That's too, we're shaking our heads. We'll figure out what we're going to do for the next show. And of course, Bill Frog's going to promote it pretty well. But it's always a pleasure to be here. We can't do this without you guys and your support. So keep sending questions, keep watching, and keep viewing, and keep living loud. And thanks to Bryan for being here, and thanks for giving away 2 passes.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Good. So you're not done. We're going to bring you back again at some point.
Let's do it.
So thanks, guys. Have a good night, and we are out.